Welcome back for episode 37. How's it going, everybody?
37 episodes. That's crazy.
Yeah, well,
cool.
Kat and I,
What,
we did an episode 37 last week, but we can't really call it that because it was just two of us, so it doesn't count. So now it's the three of
counts.
us.
It's fine.
No,
Well, yeah,
it's
now
officially
the
37 now. Yeah.
Okay. So here we are, 37, all three of us here, and what the episode is called, we're searching for the bottom, right?
Yeah, you got your binoculars on. I'm telling Kat lower while he's digging a hole. So
I'm gonna, I'm spacing out.
Looks like you've got my 1 week chart up here already for Tesla.
Well,
this is all I've been looking for. Oh no, yeah. Go ahead.
Should we talk about the state of the union first, or what do we think's happening, or what's going on?
That's tonight, right?
Well, I'm just talking about our market state of the union.
Oh, well, the market state of the union is, it feels awful, but it's still strong, right? It's not, we still have higher highs and higher lows. It's just that recently we got a much lower, higher low for a lot of these tickers. And it's, a lot of us have been feeling the pain.
Yeah.
Especially people like me who have just sort of been sticking it through thinking, well, maybe this was the bottom. Okay, maybe this is the bottom. No. Okay, I'll buy some more. Maybe this is the bottom. No. And Tesla really, it just fell back down to this part. I never expected it to fall this low. Anything under 400 again after we got over the 414.50, and boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, once it started going on 295, though, it just kind of cascaded, so it kind of made sense what happened today. But I'll just, talk about the markets. I mean, you and I, Tracker, we talked about a psychology lesson basically in the morning about everything, trying to calm people's nerves. But ultimately, what's really happening with the SPY, I think, is, it back tested the baseline, the weekly chart. Can it go lower? Of course, it still can, right? And actually, if you do the linear scale fibs, it's kind of matching the 561 and the 50-week moving average. So if it ever did lose this baseline right here, then there's a potential for price to even go a bit lower. But either way, I don't know if it's really ready to blast off anyways, because I think it's kind of just like waiting to get closer to the weekly cloud regardless. So we're probably just going to be range bound for some time for the SPY and also for the QQQ too. Potentially the same thing, right? It's also trying to battle the baseline right now, but it is kind of losing some 1.618 support right here on linear scale. But the log scale, it's still kind of maintaining this 497. So that's a really interesting level that I'm watching. So perhaps this can just start to try to build a base in this area as well and get closer to the cloud. And I know Kat saw it. I was paying attention to it too. The monthly Ichimoku cloud for IWM, it nailed the baseline for the first time since it broke out right here. So there we go. February 2024. It's been one whole year since it broke out, and it never touched the baseline until today. So actually, can't really get too bearish on that situation. And pretty much, this is the first attempt at a higher low since it really started to break out on a month-to-month basis, right? It never really attempted to make a higher low until now. So I think what we're seeing now is the opportunity for perhaps price to start to stabilize and for price to stay above this 203, because there's a lot of confluence there. There's the 50% fib, there's the baseline, there's the 50-month moving average on the monthly chart. So I do think the potential bottom is in for the IWM, but for the QQQ and the SPY, they still have potential to go lower. So with that said, what say you guys?
I still don't know why Nora Jones didn't come. I'm still trying to figure that part out. But to be completely honest with you, now that you're talking about the IWM, I don't know. I have my camera as my screen. Can you flip over to my thing? I'm gonna try out something a little different here. Yeah. Can you not show my camera as a screen?
Did you share your screen?
I don't think so. I don't think I can. No.
Okay, I'm gonna just share a different thing then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So just real quick, this is a little bit of an unusual behavior for the IWM because usually on a bull market you have, and I'm gonna yap a long time. Not that you asked me to talk. You should regret it. But
Please do. No, go right ahead.
We all love it. Yeah.
you better. That's why you brainwash yourselves. But anyway, this is a little bit unusual behavior. I think this whole 2022 cycle for IWM it was extremely damaging, and it was very, very, and that compounded with the 2020 COVID low. Like these two events are actually quite damaging. I'm going to even zoom out a little bit further here. I see basically 2 decades of behavior. Decade number 1 over here, right? You have 2 lows over here. One is the dot-com bubble. The other one is the Great Financial Crisis, right? And they've kind of created equal low for the IWM. IWM is a small cap, Russell 2000, like all the high risk, risk on stuff. And basically it created a double bottom over here. And then eventually it was able to repair. As it repaired, it pushed back up above the cloud, backstats to the cloud over here. And then it tested the baseline over here, right? During the entire other bull markets, you see from this bull market, after it tested baseline, it didn't really touch the baseline again. It just kind of ride up on the conversion, right all the way up for a year and a half, right? And it just kind of goes sideways, maybe make a little bit of high there, and that's it. Here during this bull market, you had a little bit meaning bear market over here from 15 to 16, and the next thing you have another rise up over here. It got kind of close to the baseline over here, didn't really quite touch it, and then it just kind of went on for 2 years, right? So after that, the other bull market over here, that also didn't really touch the baseline here at all, just kind of shot way up, right? And right now, this is really the first kind of bull market. We've had a bull market that had gotten away from the cloud and actually came back and back tested the baseline here. Since all the way back, I can't even see it anymore. Since all the way back over here, So I think that if you look at the 2 separate thing here, if you just split the screen right in the middle, you can see this low over here and this low over here is very similar to this low over here in 2015, 2016, and this low over here in with the COVID low, right? You can also see that there's a lot of kind of very similar fractal here. Once it broke about the second low over here, it pushed back about the cloud and it back tested the cloud, which we did, right? And it pushed up again above the conversion and baseline, and then back tested both the conversion and baseline up here, right? This cycle is just really slow. It's just taking its time. This is a little bit unusual, and I think the reason why it's a little bit unusual compared to previous few cycles over here is just because global liquidity is just a lot slower to uptick. We're just building a lot longer base than we usually used to. This base over here has been 2.5, 3 years. And we finally back testing and finally got kind of going up higher, right? And I just want to show this because I think it's important to showcase this, right? And then you're talking about the other, the other bear market over here where you have global liquidity just kind of stuck underneath resistance, and you have a back test here during COVID, and that's when you shot up higher. But this was a lot shorter. This over here was a lot shorter than what you're going through right here, right? It went underneath resistance here, a lot shorter than what we're going through over here. Same thing with the cycle before that. You have some resistance here with global liquidity, and it finally broke up, but this is a lot shorter than what it is over here, right? It just seems like this cycle over here is just a lot longer. And because of that, it's correcting a lot more. It's back testing a lot more things. And as a result, I actually think that once global liquidity actually starts kicking in, it's going to be extremely powerful. And it can last for a lot longer. Just because whales have spent a long time accumulating for a lot longer. And just because they are going to want to distribute it at much higher prices because they didn't spend all this money, energy, effort to trying to get you to share your shares to them for cheap, just to distribute it right here. This looks like it's just pushing on and just looks like it's getting ready. This back test over here of the baseline looks like it's very, very similar time frame in terms of back test over here. Global liquidity. Taking their time. The other way to kind of look at that too is also you can also look at it through the Bollinger Band. I was kind of showing up here too. You remember there's a very powerful combo that I like to look at, which is touching a low Bollinger Band, push up against upper Bollinger Band, and then come back and test a 20. This is basically what is happening right now. This is a pretty powerful combo. If you look at a stock like NVIDIA, just to kind of illustrate a little bit of example here, when you see something like that, when you go up to the upper Bollinger Band, lower Bollinger Band, upper Bollinger Band, it didn't even touch here at the 20. Here it touched at 20, right? Upper Bollinger Band, lower Bollinger Band, upper Bollinger Band, touch at 20, went up a lot higher, right? You basically just have all these examples that you have basically, if it pushes up again off upper Bollinger Band, it comes down to the 20, and it finds support, usually things go a lot higher. I don't know if I can illustrate, maybe if I can illustrate on the SPY, you can see that, right? Upper Bollinger Band, lower Bollinger Band, got close to upper Bollinger Band here, didn't quite get there. Touched the 20, you remember how scary October 2023 was? And it just skyrocketed from there, right? I think we're at that point right here where sentiment is just extremely horrible, and we're getting ready for something big, you know? Again, like kind of upper, lower, upper 20, and then up, you know? Very, very similar thing just happens over and over again in history. And people get extremely scared whenever they retrace back to the median. Like retrace back to the median, people get extremely scared. But this is probably when you should be the most bullish, right? If you're talking about Elliott waves tracker, like honestly, like with the Bollinger Band kind of expanding to the upside, the bull market might have just gotten started here. And this is like a pullback at a very, very important juncture right there, right? Yeah. So that's all I have. Like, I don't know, I don't care about like tariffs 2.0. I don't care about COVID 2.0. Like, what happened? Nobody's talking about COVID anymore. They just throw out this crap, and next thing you know, people just kind of forget about it. Tariffs been going on for years. They haven't taken tariffs away, and it's just and even Joe Biden didn't take it away. So like there are a lot of these different narratives just kind of throwing about. Like none of that.
But
really matters.
The Canadians are already taking alcohol off their shelves that they already paid for. I mean, that is showing strength right there. I don't know. So there you go.
Don't know any. Actually, I do know. I'm actually related to some Canadians, but I don't know what to respond to that, man. What do you want me to say?
Tariffs. Canada is a place, yes. And they put their foot down on the tariffs. They get rid of those alcohols that they paid for. They get rid of them all. Yeah.
Well, let's look at the Canadian stock here, right? Shopify. It looks extremely like bullish to me. I'll get rid of the Bollinger Band here. I got a Gann chart here, and it looks extremely bullish to me. Like it just keeps making higher highs and higher lows, and it's just backtested the arc right here. Like I can look at numerous examples. I don't know if there are any like Canadian stocks or anything like that, but I just don't see any correlation with how scary things are out there compared to what I'm seeing here in the chart. So I can put up example after example after example, affirm. You're thinking about like the economic, slowdown, wherever is super scary, right? Well, it's making higher highs and higher lows, and it's backtesting a 0.618 log fit. It's like a perfect backtest, right? You're talking about SOFI. A lot of people get scared about SOFI. Oh no, it's dropping below my arc now. I guess there's still time, with the week and all that. But like honestly, yeah, it broke underneath the 0.618, but look at how big giant parabolic bull trend it had. It's just simply cooling down. And we still have like 3 more trading days. I think there's a good chance that we end up closing back inside the arc and maybe even back inside the 0.618 here. It's just like if all these and PayPal found support right at the horizontal zone right there, right? It broke back above and it basically came back and backtested the arc up here, right? Like there's really nothing scary about any of these stocks here. It basically just came back and backtested the Ichimoku cloud. Like all these things are very logical. There's really nothing based on looking at charts that really gets me scared. I'm looking at this, I'm completely stoic. I'm just like, what? Like you have a push up here on declining volume, you have a downtrend here on declining volume right into support. I'm not scared. I'm just not scared. I can keep on throwing examples after examples after examples, and those are like fintech stocks. They're highly sensitive to economic environment. I'm not that scared. I'm just not. Look at what ARK Fund is doing, right? Kathy Wood. You think about like the like trash stocks, the over overdebted and underproducing stocks. What did it do? In February, it got rejected at the Ichimoku cloud, as one would expect, because look at how thick the cloud is, right? It got rejected. What did it do? It came back down, back tested the baseline and the conversion line perfectly. I must say, right? So where is it going to go next? It's stuck in a range right now. It's at the lower part of the range. It's probably going to go back and challenge the cloud. It's doing exactly what you think it would do when it gets to resistance level and when it gets to support level. There's nothing really scary about the market. besides like all the narratives out there. But anyway, I'm going to shut up because I can keep on going on and on and on.
Yeah, when I was doing my daily update on Patreon, I was noticing the same thing, essentially with everything. Like even for the QQQ, like heavy weighted stocks, like I'll just go and take a look on my screen real quick. Let me switch screens.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna keep on talking for like half an hour. You let me. So, yeah.
All right, let's get her done. So yeah, even with the QQQ, like I was like maybe it's gonna go lower, maybe not. But then I look at the individual stocks here, and like look at Google. Look at Google. It's you can put on the Ichimoku cloud too, and it just backtested the cloud and this 1.272 170 fib, right? So this hit support, and then we can go to Microsoft and be like, okay, what did Microsoft do today? Wow, it hit a fib too, the 1.272. Let me just get rid of these words. I don't like them right now. Yeah, so yeah, it hit the 1.272 and the bottom of the cloud, and it held. So I'm like, this is support, right? Then you can look at Amazon, and you can go, okay, let's look at Amazon. Wow, it's going right through the baseline right now, but if you put on a moving average right there, what did it do? It touched the 50-week moving average perfectly, and it bounced. So it's like no matter what chart I look at, they hit a really important high time frame support levels, whether it's the fib level, whether it's the 50-week moving average, and going to Tesla, it also hit the 50-week moving average as well today, too. So I mean, lots of things today hit their very important high time frame support, and I think the biggest one of all was IWM with that monthly baseline. So like Kat was saying, so yeah, I mean, I cannot be bearish right now. I think if we're looking for a bottom, I think this is kind of how they start, right? So this is also good. Also, going to Bitcoin, we can just go here on my chart, and we can see that, guess what it did? It went down and double tapped the 1.272, the 83.558, and it held. And it's also even trying to get back above this 45-degree angle again that I have here on linear scale, where it was a resistance. Now it's still trying to be a support, right? Sure, it's a little bit below, but the week is still young. 5 days left. And even has the potential to get back above the 91 by Sunday as well. So it's just so much confluence of hitting high time frame support. It's just incredible, I think. And I don't know if I can be too worried right now, right at the moment. There was a point when I saw all these weekly closes for Tesla before going lower and lower and lower. But now that it hit the kind of ultimate support zone, I'm not too worried. Even Palantir, we can see right here. What did Palantir do? Almost go back down to the 1.272, the baseline here as well, which almost touched, not quite, and it's holding well, right? So
looks like a double bottom.
I don't know. What's that?
It looks like a double bottom.
I think
like
I think what we're gonna see is a lot of tweezer bottoms, don't you guys?
I love them tweezers. Yeah.
We almost, we saw a lot of them that were almost tweezer bottoms. Some of them just made like a slightly higher low. A few of them made a lower low of the second part of the tweezer, but they're doing okay overall. Hey, here's an interesting view. If you show my screen, it's IWM. Just Cat inspired me to pull this up. Look, I just did a channel, from back here in 2000 all the way to now. And basically, I just kind of took this angle between these two lows, and I just pulled it up to about the average high. And, most of the time, when things are really good, we're on the upper side of this. Things get really scary when it drops out of the channel here like it did in COVID. And we kind of hit the top of the channel here, 2022, and we kind of went sideways here for a while. Got scary in 2023 and 2024. And, now once again, it just kind of dropped out of the bottom of this little channel, but I expect it's going to gravitate right back into the center line again, and maybe even get to the upper part. Like, when everyone's singing, do, 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 we're in the money, dash line. So just, look for this next, I'd say. And even if the decades and decades of it going in one direction, it goes up and to the right. So don't be too scared about keeping your money in the market. And that's our show, everybody. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
That's pretty much all we need to say tonight. But
Yeah,
all
pretty much.
right, it keeps going up and to the right, no matter how scary it looks. For the moment. Here it is on the daily chart. Oh, terrifying. I think once we get back over this point, it'll start to feel really good again. All right, that's all I was wanting to show about my IWM. I'm really proud of my Tesla, my weekly chart here. It's just a 90-day period weekly chart from the 130.80 low, and you can see right here. This was a critical bottom support. I touched it here in August 5th of 2024. Touched it here again on October 21st of 2024. We got all the way up here, even that is the August carry trade down here. Anyway, yeah, and then so now we're back to the same important low support line, low, and that seems to be holding, knock on wood. That could be, that's a good candidate for a bottom in Tesla. And just like Matt was saying, and Kat was saying, I just look at all this, and now this kind of looks like your A, B, and this is like a big, larger degree wave 1, wave 2, which puts like up here, this is 3, 4, and then 5 is, it's even farther off the screen. So, yeah, 5's way up here, up over 1,000. So yeah, we're just getting started. This was sort of like waves up, that then and an ABC down, that then becomes the wave 2 bottom. So yeah, I bought even more TSL today. Yeah, I sold some stuff off. I cannibalized a few stock positions to get more TSLL. So now we get to see what happens next.
Yeah, we sure do. Get to see, like, I can share my Tesla chart really quick. And with that said, so my Tesla chart, it basically wicked down right to the 50-week moving average and to the 702, where it's really trying to hold now, the 272.79. And actually, I kind of like this wick right here, because if you do nothing else except for just draw a line here, it touched a lot of things, like the bottom of this wick right here, right? It's went through almost every single candle that was resistance in the past, and I think that perhaps
show me on the Tesla chart where the wick touched to.
Yeah, pretty much. And I did it on the live stream in the morning. I saw Kat do it too, that it's basically similar to COVID, right? I showed everybody this morning on the live stream how it basically went back to back test all of these previous resistances in the past as well, just like it's doing right here, right now.
Put up the 50-week moving average too, just the 50. When you show that between the two.
Yeah, let's just make it big. Make it big here. Yeah, it was a perfect back test of the 50, and it was a perfect back test just now of the 50, and it hit. It nailed. Yeah.
Get out. That's so cool.
Yeah. So essentially, this is repeating kind of what COVID did, and let's do the percentages just to see, just for fun. Right here. So this one from the top to the bottom, we'll just do a rough percentage. Yeah, like 60%. And from the top to the bottom here, it's about almost 50%. So there we go. It's a little bit similar, right? Similar to the first wave, except this one took just over a month to do during COVID. And right now we got a couple of months of just downward. So it's a little bit slower, but it did do the exact same thing. Yeah. And it's very...
And now show us how much it traveled from the bottom of COVID to that center line.
From the bottom of COVID to the center line here is right there, 1,000%. Yeah. And then to the top up here.
Right now
1,600%. Yeah.
Now grab that block and stack it on top of the upper line where we just back tested to. It's just like 1,000% from there. It takes us to what?
So yeah, if it goes 1,000% from here,
Yeah.
that would be 2,700. That's basically my 3,000 target. Yeah. So.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, patterns are repeating in a lot of things, not just Tesla. But you know, when other stocks retest the 50-week moving average, it's not bearish. But when Tesla does it, everybody screams, "How can you be bullish? It's broken stock forever." You know, that's all I hear.
I mean, considering the last COVID dip, the economy is shutting down. There's no economic activity for like weeks and weeks. There's uncertainty. People were dying. And there's like absolutely like, people are just absolutely worried about their financial and personal lives. It was an absolutely terrifying time, right? And then since then we've gone through, how many things have we gone through? Like we've gone through like a pretty big European conflict. We've gone through a lot of Middle East scare. We've gone through tariffs before already, and then we've also gone through the fastest inflation over the last 50 years, fastest rate hike over the last 50 years. Banks were failing, bankruptcies of a lot of like over leveraged crypto companies. The Chinese housing market bubble is going to burst for like the last 5 years. And it finally bursted, right? I mean, and next thing you know, what are we talking about right here? Like Elon Musk is in the White House running Doge.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
That's it. That's what it is. Doge.
It's way worse. It's way worse right now because we have a pro crypto president and Elon in the White House. So of course everything's going to zero now. Kat, don't you understand this?
Like I don't understand. Like what the hell are you talking?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm being snarky. I shouldn't be.
Well,
You know, the reason why it bounced off,
that's
yeah,
great.
the reason why it bounced off huge from COVID was because of global liquidity. It was because of U.S. liquidity, and it looks like we might have a lot of reasons to try to pump up liquidity again. I mean, China is already doing it, and right now we've had a lot of like, you know, you're gonna end up hearing a bunch of economic data. They're gonna come out and gonna like, you know, scare, and then you see a market actually is not reacting that much because, you know, they're probably going to warm up the money printer again, and they're probably going to do their yield as they always do. So yeah, oil's dropping, yields already dropping, bond market's already telling you that they're going to cut rates and increase liquidity. So I don't buy into the whole like notion of whatever people are talking about. None of that makes any sense to me.
and I think we were talking about this too, Kat, that essentially this kind of steep backtest, it really sets things up to be even more explosive and perhaps even longer than most people realize for a lot of things, not just Tesla.
Yeah, if you talk about, you know, all three of us do some kind of Fibonacci sequence, and
Yep.
the lower things go, the further away you're dragging that rubber band to the other side, the stronger it's going to bounce back to the other side. Unless
Yeah.
if this is like some like crap company like Tattoo Chef or like, or something, then it won't bounce back, But if this is like Tesla, this is a real company. If you're worried about valuation concerns and all that, I get it. But the stocks, they follow their harmonics, they follow their symmetry, and if you drag them too far on one side, the company's not dead. They're eventually the rubber band's going to pull back up to the other side. So
Yeah. And also, I don't know if you guys ever pulled a fib from the COVID time too, and it's interesting to see that it's kind of close to that 2.272 as well. So it doesn't need to go back down there. I'm not even too sure, but I think this zone is really healthy for something explosive in the future. That's what I think for Tesla.
yeah, I'm not sure if it has to go down that much further, but that's
No.
always the thing. Like I don't try to time things perfect. I think even when things were like, definitely I wasn't going to buy it like 480. That was just absolutely insane,
Yeah.
And then when it bounced back down to like 350 or so, okay, I'm catching like, I think I'm catching like a wave 2 or like a sub wave 2 or 3, kind of thing. Okay, I'll start catching it and see how far the knife goes. So I've just been catching it. I hesitated to use TSLA because I didn't know how far the knife was going to go. I guess I did the same for CoinL, and obviously it went down, a lot lower.
Yeah.
But I don't really try to time things perfectly.
And I get that answer or get that question all the time. Well, why did it go back down so long? I mean, I think the answer or what so low, and I think the answer is because they could, right? Things were just overextended because they could. They could create that panic and create this desperation and create everything when actually it was just a big, humongous breakout. So they could take things down lower on Tesla. They could take things down lower on Palantir. They could take things down lower on a lot of things while still maintaining a very bullish structure. So this is why I always say, even on my Patreon, on my course, like market structure is king. It's exceeds everything or supersedes everything from indicators to whatever I think, because the structure of the chart determines if it's bullish or bearish and if you want to really buy and hold or not, right? And right now, this is something that is resembling the past right here, but it's also just a perfect backtest of a very important zone, like perhaps the most important zone, right? Up here, was it important? Yeah, kind of. Down here, was it important? Yeah, kind of. But I think this zone is the most important zone because it's really a level where almost every single temporary top hit, and it backtested that zone. So this is the ultimate level of importance, in my opinion. So yeah, just market structure first, and everything else comes second. And I do actually have a new Gann that I wanted to show everybody here for Tesla, and it's this one right here. So I wanted to show this one simply because it was very symmetrical in the past right here with this orange level, right? It just held that for a long time. And now it's kind of doing the same thing with this blue level right here. And where are we at right now? It actually opened the week on top of it, and now it's getting the liquidity underneath it. So it still has the opportunity to close above that level, and that level is 291. And that actually is beautiful because that's the level I want. I want 295, right? I want 295 to be my the target to close above for a weekly candle close, which is the linear scale 618 right here. So it kind of coincides with that. And I do like this one a lot. So I'm going to be watching this one pretty closely from now on. So 291, 295, that's going to be the goal for Friday for the weekly candle close still. So let's see if it can do it. And if so, then I think things can recover sooner than more people think. So
this new chart is both beautiful and terrifying because there's so much empty space for it to go higher or lower.
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, right here, there's 56, Kat. There's your 60 right here. Yeah. No, but I mean, during 2022, 2023, it basically was empty space here too. I think the reason why I like this one is because the levels, and these levels are basically kind of Fibonacci sequences based off the whole square, right? So they are pretty accurate, and that's why they're not random, right? They're still based off of Fibonacci. So there we go, 291, 295. Let's see if it can close above on Friday.
Well, do we want to talk about the world of crypto?
Yeah, we could.
Should give your Kat, do you want to do your thing first?
What is my thing? I don't even know what my thing is anymore.
Your thing is you pull some really interesting looking charts and you show some similarities and
like
say
and stuff
how
like
it's
that.
done this here before.
Yeah, I can do that.
That's my favorite thing.
I can do that. I can talk about the monthly. I have like a Gann and a little bit of like a global liquidity spill. I can talk a little bit about that too.
Yeah, go ahead.
And whichever one of you want to talk about, total crypto and
I mean, like it's all
the big ones.
Yeah, I think like Matt's really got like a total 3 adders fetish. We're gonna totally talk about that, and also an XRP itch as well. But we always like all.
Wait, XRP? Did you say XRP?
Oh yes, XRP, please.
Yes, I did. But the whole idea, I think the cycle is just slower. A lot of people are saying the cycle's over. I still tend to disagree, mostly because of market symmetry, and because of what generally happens per cycle, and because of Bitcoin generally follows global liquidity and nothing else. And it's not going to be like a 1-to-1 correlation. You're going to end up having sometimes you're going to end up having a little bit of a lag. Sometimes you're going to end up having a little bit of a move ahead. I see like 3 major cycles right here. Like before 2014, I think it was just the beginning of Bitcoin. It wasn't really that tied to global liquidity. It was just like its own asset. It was just doing its own price exploration, doing its own thing. But after 2015 or so, like it really seemed to track the global liquidity very well. You can see that whenever your bear market happens is when global liquidity has a hard time breaking out. It's just kind of stuck in range. When it broke out in back test, which coincidentally is usually going to be where it actually breaks away from the ARK over here and back test the ARK, right? And whenever global liquidity starts going up, that's when Bitcoin has like this big giant parabolic move up, right? This is what happened after it back tested and then just kind of went up straight for like a whole year. That's when the very memorable bull market was in 2017. And then what happened after that? Global liquidity slowed down, right? It got stuck in range. It got hidden resistance for a very long time, last about 2 years or so. And that's when the bear market happened, right? As the global liquidity broke away and back tested, so did the price broke above the ARK and back tested the ARK, right? And it was getting ready to go up again. Whenever you have this big giant leg up in global liquidity, that's when things kind of went crazy, right? So what's happening right now? We have been in a bear market for a very long time, and you've had global liquidity kind of stuck in a new resistance here for a long time. Broke above it, back testing it, broke above the ARK here, back test the ARK, right? A little bit lagging by a couple months, yes, but right now you have taken off from the ARK, right? It looks like we might be also taking off here with global liquidity. Very similar spot over here, very similar spot over there, right? There's a lot of similarities here, with the exception that I think the cycle is just a lot longer, right? I'm not making this up. It's just cycle is just a lot longer. So because of that, I also wonder whether or not this cycle might also end up being a lot longer on its upside. The other thing to also pay attention to too is whenever it breaks about an ARK over here, it doesn't just immediately show up to the moon. You end up having like about 3 or 4 months of like a slowdown here, kind of going sideways over here, right? It did that. And over here, after it broke through the ARK and took off, it kind of had a little bit of slowdown over here, back testing horizontal zone over there before taking off, right? Well, we just broke it about the ARK. What are we doing? We're just kind of hovering around here for a while, So I don't know whether or not to me, I don't think really, based on Mars symmetry as the global liquidity, I just don't see any particular reason for it to be to have the bull market end it yet. You also see the Bollinger Band expansion also hasn't happened yet. We haven't really had that big parabolic bull trend that gets everybody euphoric, where whales are going to distribute their Bitcoin to you at much higher prices, selling Bitcoin to you, basically saying it's like a greatest asset ever. We haven't really had that yet. It's just been kind of going sideways, kind of like over here, what I was kind of pointing out to. Kind of like around here, what I was kind of pointing out to. We haven't had that Bollinger Band expansion quite just yet, right? The other thing too, I think Matt's already kind of been onto this, is whenever there's a bull market for Bitcoin, it just basically go and rides the conversion line, the blue line, up on its way. That's what happened every single time. Kind of like it's just roll escalators going all the way up. It was kind of a little bit unhealthy, actually. But on the bull market cycle before that, you can see how beautifully it was, just basically just tagging the conversion line on the way up, like it's taking stairs on the way up, right? And I think right now we're a little bit slower, but we're basically doing that, just taking stairs on the way up. Eventually, I think this thing is going to break escape velocity. I think this thing's going to break escape velocity. Because again, I think we're like here. I think we're very similar spot as here. I think we're very similar spot as here. And if it ends up breaking escape velocity, if we end up actually printing money because economic data is not good, whatever, and like yields are already telling you that, bond market is already telling you that they're gonna have like some kind of quantitative easing and things like that. That's what the bond market is really telling me anyway. And we just kind of back test the conversion line here perfectly. You can't have things too far away from the blue line. From the conversion, if you have too far away from the blue line, you can either you have to correct. You have to wait for the blue line to kind of come back up and catch up with you. Either you go sideways here through time, or you go correct through price. Eventually, you're going to touch the blue line before going up higher. This time, the blue line is just a lot slower, and the blue line just going up a lot slower. And we just have to take a step back, take a step back, take a step up, take a step back. But I think eventually it's going to end up hitting escape velocity. And I think it's probably just the matter of time. So.
1 million?
Well, I mean, like if you look at my Gann here, naturally, if you break up, like you got rejected at the ARK, right? Came back through, pushed back test, went up to the next ARK here, came back down, pushed back test, went up to the next ARK here, close to it anyway, right? We're doing the same thing. So where's the ARK up here? ARK is like, it depends on where it hits, If it hits like on the top of the ARK here in like December 2025, which I don't think is going to happen, then it could be like 800,000. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the cycle is probably a lot slower. I think it's probably going to end up going up here to like 200,000, and then end up going to have some resistance here, and then maybe even like kind of going down here a little bit, cool down, and then eventually push up there. If this is really like a lengthened cycle, depends on what global liquidity does. So I don't know. Like, this is a little bit controversial. Whenever somebody says like lengthened cycle, like, oh, I don't know, like this is dangerous because you're pulling out too late and you're going to end up having a baby. That's not good. But the thing is, like, Bitcoin dominance usually for bull market in Bitcoin, altcoins also run like crazy too, right? And you can also look at the same thing here with Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is just basically saying the percentage of the total market cap that is Bitcoin in terms of the market cap, right? And usually, and also have the same like liquidity chart here. You can see the same thing whenever it breaks above this zone. I'm sorry, Matt, you've already seen this, but I don't think Tracker has yet. So,
No, keep going. And there's plenty of people who haven't.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. I don't mind being a broken record, because this broken record it's fun. It's people don't listen.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, people don't listen, and maybe they shouldn't, because I'm all wrong. But basically, where we have like a breakout of global liquidity, right? Breakout, backtest, increased global liquidity. Bitcoin dominance plummets, right? Altcoin goes nuts. Bitcoin goes nuts too, but altcoins go way nuts, right? Because the global liquidity is so much pressure, like liquidity just flushing around to go somewhere. Same thing here. Breakthrough backtest went up, right? And then Bitcoin dominance just plummeted, right? And here we got like a really long cycle over here. It's just been going a very, very long time. And Bitcoin dominance just been like, oh, I'm gonna be very, very dominant here. I'm gonna be very dominant here. But right now, we just have a breakout and backtest, right? All of a sudden, all these things are happening at the same time. And I probably shouldn't be using log here, but I'm going to unlock myself. All of a sudden, all this stuff is happening at the same time as the Bitcoin dominance is finally going up on like bearish divergence here on the monthly, right? So it's exhausting. Still forming a higher high, but it just looked like the trend is exhausting. So I wonder if global liquidity starts coming in, it could end up doing pretty well. I'm going to talk about Ethereum, because somebody asked about Ethereum here. I'm going to go back to the log scale here. I still expect this RSI trend line here to hit. I still expect it to hit at some point. It's still, we just simply haven't had that parabolic bull run yet with the crypto market. And no matter how many like bearish narratives there are on Ethereum, none of that really makes any sense to me. Like, you're talking about competition, you're talking about all the other stuff. Like Solana is actually not doing very well right now either. Like, none of that narratives, they're all just narratives, right? All I'm seeing here is just like Tesla, Tracker. Just like Tesla. What happened in COVID? COVID happened over here, right? You had a little bit of a lower low here, right? What's happening right now? You have a little bit of a lower low over here. You see that there's a lot of very similarities between the price stuck in this range over here, right? And the price kind of stuck in the range over here. I see a lot of similarities between these two. And the other thing too, like if you must do Elliott waves, and I'm not like an Elliott wave cat or anything like that. I think this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Pretty clear. And I think this is like an ABC correction, right? Well, a lot of people are saying like, you're getting to like wave 4 or whatever. I think this is like 1. I think this is a 2, because this is a lower low, right? I think this is a 1. I think this is a 2, right? So that leaves wave 3 is yet to come.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I've been saying all this time. Like, things are gonna go a lot higher.
It's just like Tesla, Tracker. It's just like Tesla. So
people just can't quite imagine it the way I see it.
Yeah, like that. I've seen the same thing. I've seen the same thing, but with Ethereum. So anyway, I talked for too long. Please take the mic away from me.
Well, I did want to talk about others chart.
Of course you would.
Yeah. And just remember out there in the audience, when Bitcoin dominance goes up, that means there's more money is flowing into Bitcoin than the altcoins. And when Bitcoin dominance goes down, that's when altcoins are getting more money flowing into them. I just want to point that out.
That is correct.
That is correct. Yes.
Yes. Would you like to flip to your screen?
Oh yes. So here we go. So here's my others chart, and I wanted to just show you that. Where
Your screen, sir. There you go.
So I have it from the bottom here back in 2014, and I want you to focus your attention on this 45-degree angle here, where it was a resistance right here back in June of 2015. Then it flipped to a support. It broke out and it back tested it, and these are monthly candles too, by the way. So it just hovered around there for many months, right? And I want to just point your attention to what it did after that back test, and it went up. Let's see. Essentially 31,000%. That's just insane, right? It's just a small 31,000%. I mean, who cares about those tiny gains? Nobody does, right? So anyways, when we go fast forward to today, what is price doing? Bam. It is doing the same thing now, right? It just took a long time to get there, and there we go. For basically months at a time, it's just been consolidating there, and it's like right in the little nook right there, right in the little nook right now. And so is it going to just launch to the next level? I mean, the green level up here for others is right there, and that's 10,000% away. That's basically just for the altcoins, not counting the top 10. It's 25 trillion. I mean, is that going to be possible for others? Maybe, right? Possibly, but it's looking very similar to the past. And also, when we put on the monthly Bollinger Band too, it's right back at the 20-week moving average too, right there. I know Kat likes that a lot too. And also, when we go to the Ichimoku cloud, it's kind of like staying on top of the cloud a little bit. It did close last month below it, but it's kind of like just in that range where the baseline is right there around 265 billion and the bottom of the angle right here. So I think it's just kind of a matter of time, maybe even a couple of months away, either this month or next month could be the catalyst to just kick things higher and higher. So I think we're coming down to a very important decision for the altcoins. And you can totally tell they're outperforming Bitcoin just by looking at the others chart, because it was the green all day today while Bitcoin was going lower and lower, right? And we can pull up a fib from here to here too. We can even see that it's holding this 618 fib perfectly. It was a previous resistance right here for 4 months in a row, breakout backtest 2 months in a row of that 618. So just lots of confluence that it doesn't really want to go lower. And I think it's almost a matter of time before a lot of the altcoins really start to perform well. And when you look at individually altcoins, they're not making lower lows. Even the ones that are showing really big weakness like Fetch AI or Ethereum or whatever, they're still not making lower lows. And like I always say, market structure is king. And if a stock or crypto is not making lower lows, then guess what? It's going to go higher.
If I could take a few minutes out and just go on a diatribe about the history of capitalism, and just to say that, in the past, the global economy grew because populations would grow, and then you'd have increases in technology to make productivity better. And then by having more people, you've got more consumers, so you can make more things to sell more things to more people. And, it's kind of inefficient when you have to chop down a bunch of trees and put them on the lathe and carve them up into, various objects, and then transport them out to all the people that want to buy them, and your margins are very low. And it takes a long time. It takes a lot of resources. And then fast forward to today, where people like to spend their time playing Fortnite, and they will pay for digital goods, which don't take that much effort to create and don't have any transportation costs. And people are willing to pay, just as much money for, some new character skin as they used to be willing to pay for, some really cool toy or what have you. And then you had to have, to make, for the big conglomerates to make their profits, you had to get as many people as you could and exploit them. And that's kind of what we're still in that age where, retail companies that sell to us, they're trying to maximize their profits by minimizing how much they actually give us and sort of steal the life force out of their workers, make them work for the least amount of pay to make all those products and get them distributed to us. Yeah, and it costs us in our blood, sweat, and soul. But now you kind of go forward into the future, and I know we're not there yet, but it's coming, where you don't have to have a certain population of human beings to exploit to make profits. You simply build more robots, and you simply work on their software a little bit, and then you download the software to all the robots, and now all the robots can do, a billion robots can do the same thing you trained one robot to do, and it just scales up so beautifully. And this is kind of the age of abundance that I'm talking about. And so when Matt talks about, how altcoins could go to, I don't know, $100 trillion market cap or whatever, it's probably because of this kind of thing, where we're not going to be limited to the human population as to how fast we can grow economies or how fast we can grow civilization. It's just to how quickly and how cheaply can we build robots and then program them to do new things. And that's it. That's my mic drop right there.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. The reason why stock market, if you look at SPX, Matt, you want to show it to my screen here too? I just want to reiterate a few points here. This is SPX. Like you're talking about the 1870s. That's not really like a real market. It wasn't mature yet. It was just, like it was like pre-World War II, all that stuff. That they're only really. Couple of things. I agree with Tracker. Point number one is that why do stocks always just tend to go up to the right? The reason why is like Tracker was saying, there's human innovation, there's deflation, and they have to print money. Like there's no other way to do it. They have to print money because all these things create wealth, and money printing is actually a necessity.
To keep up with population too.
You have the population, keep up with growth, keep everything. Like you have to print money, right? And as money gets printed, they do get stuck in certain pockets, certain assets. And stock market is a very good way to kind of look at global liquidity. And they have to keep printing money to survive. So the reason why market crashes is not because they print too much money or anything. I mean, sure, there's like a debt bubble or whatever, right? But really, honestly, based on history, the only reason why market crashes is because of over leverage. That's really like if you look at like the not great financial crisis, you look at Great Depression. This is a 6-month chart with Bollinger Band, right? How many candles do you have about 6 months? 1, 2, 3, 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like that, you're gonna crash. These are 6-month chart. You're gonna crash. Like there's no doubt about it. Over here, like around the 50s or so, you have a big giant boom over here. It kept on going up on bearish divergence. I mean, I can show you that, on our side. It kept on going up on like bearish divergence for like a decade or two. It got completely exhausted, and it's just basically kind of cool down sideways here. All these are completely expected behavior. What happened here with the dot-com bubble? How many candles did you have? 6-month candles that goes outside the upper Bollinger Band. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Of course you're going to crash. Of course you're going to retrace back to the mean, right? And then as you go back up over here, and you have a little bit more exhaustive top over here, right into your great financial crisis, by then they're actually, instead of over-leveraging in stocks, they're over-leveraging in housing, right? So what's going to happen? It's going to crash. Where did it crash? To the lower Bollinger Band, right? You see how provide perfect support over here in the lower Bollinger Band on a higher time frame. And guess what happened after that? Banks can fail. What happened when banks can fail? The stock market just goes up crazy, right? And whenever you have a few candles are closing right about the upper Bollinger Band here, what happens in like 2013, 2014, cools down over here, right? Back inside the Bollinger Band. What happened during post-COVID? You have a bunch of money printing, right? What happened? 3 candles above. What happened after that? You got punished over here, closed back inside the upper Bollinger Band. This is healthy right now. This is healthy right now. I'm not like this. You have to kind of looking at a perspective in terms of decades and decades of like what the market is doing in order to like extrapolate, rather than just pointing a big arrow down. Like that doesn't make sense. Like are things over leveraged right now? I don't think so. I think we just had like a lot of deleveraging that happened in 2022. So anyway, that's my spiel.
That's great. I love it when you do the history.
Yeah. You can look at SPX and you can actually tell history based on Bollinger Band, and you retrace back to the mean here. That's like look at how crazy that is. COVID, what did it do? It was a mean retracement. It got really close to like the mean right there. It's just absolutely insane. anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm not an economist. I'm just a charting cat. So I don't know. Anyway, maybe
But yeah, I agree with that. I think things are just gonna continuously go higher, no matter what. Yeah. With some hiccups in the road, who cares? But that's why
they go higher on a logarithmic scale, and they just get
they do. Yeah, this is log scale until they stop talking about stop buying stocks because it's dangerous. And I'm hearing all kinds of warnings out there saying Palantir is overvalued, saying like all this stuff out there. I'm still hearing all these warning signs, so that actually makes me feel pretty good about myself.
Yeah, and what's the alternative? Getting an invisible tax on just holding the U.S. dollar by just depreciation every freaking year? No thanks.
Yeah, I mean you can buy bonds, I guess. You can buy TLP, which again is trying to break up, but is still underneath like 20-month moving average resistance.
So sad.
So it's going to have a hard time breaking above still. I think it's going to be a very, very slow burn before it like breaks above. Yeah, you can put your money in cash, you can put your money in like bonds, or you can put your money in this thing called like Bitcoin, where
it just goes up and right.
Yeah, it just keeps going up to the right, and even though it crashes every couple of years, it just seems like it just wants to keep going up to the right on a log scale. So yeah, whatever you guys want to do, it's
Well, I have a lot of money in XRP. I mean, I don't know if you heard of that one.
You want to show your XRP chart?
I've got a
well, somebody did ask about it, so otherwise I would never want to talk about it. But since somebody asked, yeah. So yeah, here's XRP, and we can put on the monthly Ichimoku. And last month it nailed it perfectly, and in fact, I think it nailed it twice. Oh, this is the market cap. Hold on, let me go. I don't want the market cap. Yeah, I think last month it even nailed it twice because it went down to like the 190s basically twice. But this monthly candle doesn't show it. But honestly, what's the most important thing that I'm focusing on is this 886, the 225, and it's really, really maintaining it well. And there we can see the second time. Yeah, it went down to 194 for the baseline for a double tap. Boom, boom. And it looks good, right? It looks like it's one of these charts that just a matter of time, maybe a little bit more weeks or whatever, get closer to the cloud before it really wants to explode. But yeah, my minimum target is basically $8, $8.20, $9. And I think that can happen sooner than later. So we'll see. I did forecast in December that it's going to happen on the March 10th or something. So it better happen soon, right? Yeah.
soon.
It better launch higher soon or else I'm going to be angry. But no, this is a super bullish chart. And I think, it's just a matter of time, guys. No rush for good things.
Did you know like 3 months ago that Trump was going to win and he was going to announce that there should be a national crypto reserve and XRP was going to be part of that reserve?
No, never did. Never thought of that. Never even knew that was going to be even a thing, But and that's why I think like charts are the most important thing, I think, because there's really, when it comes to crypto, a lot of crypto, people say there's fundamentals, but really there's not too much fundamentals. Like either it's a working network and it has some kind of value or it doesn't. Like honestly, the charts really tell the story, and this one told the story of once it breaks this orange arc, it's going to fly, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm bullish on XRP, bullish on a lot of things, bullish on altcoins in general, even the ones that are lagging, still bullish.
Yeah, Creed is a very valuable band, and so is Kenny G. Like it doesn't really matter what they do. As long as people put value into them, they're going to make money. Like,
what does Shibu Inu do, anyways? Like, what is the usefulness of that network?
Well, they have like a lot more like layers building onto. They actually have a lot more utility potentially compared to Doge. Blah blah blah. But anyway, I don't really care about any of that. So. You can build more things on Shiba Inu actually, theoretically speaking. But yeah,
what's the utility for Fartcoin?
Well, it's Fartcoin. Well, I know Buttcoin is the next Bitcoin, and I mistyped. I can't tell you how many times when I tried to type Bitcoin, I accidentally typed Buttcoin, and I thought that was absolutely genius. It was absolutely genius. It's like I think somebody was like, so they're saying. Yeah, there's a stock called, like, the ticket symbol is like TLSA or something like that. I don't remember. And then, like, it was just like going up like crazy. And I think people were just like typing in Tesla wrong back in the days. You know, like, it was just
Exactly.
it was brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it is pretty brilliant. And do we have more requests? I see we do have more requests here, but I think I wanted to show more stuff too, just like HBAR. Because HBAR is another one that's looking pretty beautiful, right? Just right in between the baseline and the conversion line there. But more importantly, is the market symmetry of this gorgeous little chart here. And the 786 is a resistance, obviously. But this chart is really telling a story here. And the story that it's telling is that it's getting in its little nook as well, right? Right here, just getting in a little nook. And so perhaps a few more weeks or months or whatever, then it can probably escape. And can it go to the arcs above? Maybe the $3? I think so. Like, I honestly think, especially since with that Swift announcement, right? If Swift is doing transactions or whatever they're going to be doing on HBAR, that's going to be a lot of money flowing in there, right? So potentially that's going to be even more powerful than Solana with its meme coin creation, right? So let's not count HBAR out for some monster gains. And the next level does sit up here right around $9. So could HBAR actually get to $9? I think it's possible. So there's really good developments in crypto going right now. People always ask when to buy, when to buy. I mean, the choice is always yours ultimately, but the way things are holding support week over week, month over month, I mean, there's really no better time than now, honestly. That's all
I'm going to buy some HBAR tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have like only have 4 sentences about what's going on with the market right now. And
Go ahead.
And it goes like this. And I've been wrong. I've been down. Been to the bottom of every bottle. These 5 words in my head scream, "Are we having fun yet?"
Isn't that a country song?
Oh, it's Nickelback.
Oh, it's a Nickelback. Okay. I swear I heard it as a country song too.
And yeah. I've been wrong. I've been down. Into the
yeah.
bottom of every bottle. These 5 words in my head.
You are Canadian, aren't you? I mean, everything about you. Where's your maple syrup? I think you have some in your fridge or in the cupboard, right?
I just think that the irony because yeah, because like it's again, this song is not very good, but it made it big anyway. Just like potentially Shiba Inu or any altcoin, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, it really doesn't matter.
Well, it kind of matters the formation of them right now because there's some that are a lot more bullish than others.
There's so many bands that are like better than Nickelback. It doesn't matter. Nobody likes them. You know, it's just yeah. That's why you follow the charts. Like you want to follow like the top artists, you know, and just go after them because people actually know what they're singing about. But it doesn't matter. Like look, charts matter because that's where money is going into. So
yeah. And like, I want go ahead, Tracker.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to say,
yeah.
You know, you do you first. You do you first.
I was going to show another chart, so go ahead first.
Well, Evan Finn has this question: what indicates that we haven't topped in these markets yet, other than the swing highs and lows? And I was going to say, well, you go back to global liquidity and you look at that, because what happens, correct me if I'm wrong, as global liquidity goes up and there's more money sloshing around looking for places to go, then they're much more willing to go into, you know, higher risk assets that could potentially give them gains, but also because they look underpriced compared to other assets. And, you know, so when there's a lot of extra liquidity, they don't want to just be in cash. They want to go into places where they think they can grow their money. And that's why we don't think the stock market is done yet, because there's, especially now with this crash that we just had, there's lots of opportunity for money to come in and build up for the respective owners.
Yeah, they go through cycles, and I don't think the whales accumulate for so long just to like pump a little bit. That generally doesn't happen that way, and you can see that with NVIDIA cycles. You can see it with Tesla cycles. You can see it with Bitcoin cycles. They go for cycles. If you just look at charts in linear scale, you're not going to see them. But if you look at charts in log scale, you're going to pick them up. because these are exponential assets. The same thing goes with IWM. Same thing goes with like the stock market in general. I don't think that we're at that point of the cycle where we are topping. Another thing too, if you look at like the sentiment, there's like an AII sentiment survey. The last Thursday, they come out every Thursday. Last Thursday, there was like 60%, greater than 60% of investors saying that things are going to be bearish over the next 6 months. Right. The last time that happened, when it's like greater than 60% bears, was September of 2022. We bought it in October. Right. The time before that, where they're greater than 60% bears, was in like March of 2009, and that was when the great financial crisis bottomed. So that this is not how the market crashed. Not when everybody's calling for a market crash. It just doesn't work that way.
Well, what about NVIDIA? I think NVIDIA is kind of looking kind of toppy at the moment, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think NVIDIA. There are two opposing theories. I made like a video for like my members last night, but there are two opposing theories. One is this could be like a sideways down kind of mini bear market that NVIDIA is experiencing before the next bull. The other possibility is just it's going sideways. They're doing a lot of rebalance, and they're still somewhere else. They're stuck, and they're going to try to push up another like up higher eventually after it's cooling down enough, after rotation is happening. They might push up another leg up higher and use US exit liquidity. So I don't know which way it's going to go. Regardless, it looks like it's like a late cycle kind of stock. Because it already went up like 13 or 14x, from the bottom. Like, how much higher do you expect it to go? I mean, maybe another 2 or 3x is realistic. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah. There's a period of time where NVIDIA did nothing from August of 2020 to like April 2021. It did nothing, and that was when like ARK funds and like Tesla, everything else just kind of go up like crazy. Bitcoin has gone up like crazy. So I think we might be at like that rotational aspect of it. It's not. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that bullish on NVIDIA anymore. I'm a little bit more cautious. I think it's going to do okay in the long run.
Yeah.
But it's just not. Like it's not necessarily like the market leader necessarily. Like you might rotate things around.
It finally touched the weekly cloud though for the first time in 2 years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It could go up a lot higher from here. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. But one thing I pointed out on the morning show this morning, like don't these monthly candles kind of look like distribution right here? Don't they kind of like all these wicks up top?
Yeah, they're taking profit at the 2.272. Like there's no doubt about it. The only question is, are they done taking profits yet, or do they want to push another like up higher to 228?
But if it loses, if it loses this monthly conversion line, it's probably going to go to the baseline, which is maybe 85.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
So
right, but if global liquidity goes up, if everything else pumps, I have a hard time necessarily seeing NVIDIA going down that low. So I don't know. I'm a little bit conflicted between the two.
Yeah, me too. Like if it stays above my green level, then I'll be more bullish right here. But if it doesn't, then I'll be more cautious. So that's my line in the sand. 122. Basically 122, stay above, good, stay below, bad.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Nice and succinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to show before we talked about that was just an altcoin that's like lagging behind right now, and that's Fetch AI here. But I wanted to show you the symmetry of this by taking everything off, and even the fibs. I want to take that off.
Woo.
Take it all off. But like, look at this. Look at this beautiful chart. Right. So is this lagging? Yes. Did it go deeper than I thought? Yeah, because I thought it was maybe going to maintain around 97 cents up here, like just back testing this. But it had plenty of opportunity to go lower because there's a lot of liquidity here, and it's also a previous resistance breakout, flip to support zone. So even the ones that are lagging, there's no damage done to the charts at all. Still holding symmetry perfectly, and really has the potential to carry on, right? Just build a base on this angle up here and then go to $11 in the future. Right. So even ones that are lagging still look beautiful. That's what I'm trying to say. Like Link still looks fine. Solana still looks fine. They all still look fine. So just some are going to break out sooner. Some are going to be later cycle plays. And maybe Fetch is going to be a later cycle play.
I'm going to buy some Fetch AI tonight again too.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
It's in the nook.
Yeah, they're all kind of in the nook, right? And some nooks are a little bit longer and wider than others, right? But this one could take more time, maybe into June or even August, right, before it really does something. But still, like if you're playing for cycles, it doesn't really matter how long it takes because you're playing for hundreds, if not thousands % of gain. And you can't really do that if you're just going in and out. You can't get those kind of gains. And that's why I think Kat and I are so strongly about just holding for cycles, really, because you don't, A, they're less stress, and B, you can get a lot more money. Because if you're trying to time the market like a smart guy or girl, then you're probably going to get burned more often than not. So you're going to lose more than you win. And then it's really going to just make you not gain that much money. But like these altcoins, especially, they have potential for thousands of % of gain. So that's what I'm here for.
There's a question by Evan Finn. Correct me if I'm wrong, but why does it seem like all these stocks crypto only ran because of Trump's inauguration on November 4th? My response to that is, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like all stock run has to base on a fundamental. Without fundamental, stocks cannot run, and crypto cannot run. It always has to base on fundamental. Just like back in November 2020, when you had that big giant green candle in everything after Biden won, it's because Biden won, right? So Trump won this time. Of course, it's going to pump because actually that doesn't make any sense at all. So I'm sorry. I just said a bunch of nonsense, so I'm sorry about that.
But yeah, actually, I made a post on November 3rd before the election saying altcoins were out support. Right, that's the exact post. You guys can search for it on X or whatever. But that is, yeah, it was at support the day before the election. So of course, the only direction it could go up is up. And now, where was November 4th on this chart here? It was. Is this my weekly chart? Yeah. It was like right around here, right? So this one completely retraced more than the election pump. And some of them have done that. Some of them have retraced even more than when Trump got elected, right? Not the inauguration, but the election. But a lot of them have just fully retraced it and not really gone lower too. And then some of them have never even looked back, like XRP. So there we go. I mean, we can just take one coin at a time, look at it each individually. But yeah, like Kat was saying, there needs to be some kind of fundamental pump to get everybody excited. But right now, nobody's excited. And you know what I love the most out of everything is when nobody is excited at support, especially symmetrical support, and market structure is still beautiful, just a chart like this, right? This is what I love the most. People hate it though because, oh, my bags aren't pumping. But you know what? This is how you get those big gains. You don't get the big gains by buying it. Oh, it's at $6 now, I better buy this. No, you don't get the big gains then. You get the big gains when you buy the pain and accumulate the pain. And the lower it goes, you accumulate more because you have a vision, or at least I have a vision. And the vision is looking very beautiful for the future. So I don't care about the short term. I'm a long-term kind of a guy. And I think things are setting up to be monstrous for the future of altcoins.
Indeed.
I'm gonna ask Tracker here. Any small caps are you looking at? I'm gonna keep doing that every single time we do a show.
That's a good idea. Let me small caps. I can't think of anything in particular. I mean, here's LUNR. They've actually got a mission going to the moon right now. I think it might have already landed. Intuitive Machines made some of the components of a mission to the moon. And it looks like it topped out in 5 waves and has had a full ABC down. And in fact, it looks like it got a double. This is a weekly chart. Yeah, it looks like it already got a toothpick bottom here, double toothpick. So just Elliott waves alone from. Let's see. Oh, I went to the bottom of what was the wave 2 here. So from here up to the high of 24.95, back down to 12.62. I'm looking for 764,382, which gives us $29.31, $21. Then up to $42, back down to $35 almost, and then 64.67. And then that's just in 5 waves up. The larger degree chart, I'm looking at a overall ABC retrace back to its all-time high. I mean, it had this crazy wick where it's just like, I don't know what happened to it. It just got bid all the way up to $136 a share. If it just gets back to the 6.8% retracement, that's $84.85. So I'm watching it go up in 5 waves, but it really could just end up like, if you see it stop at $53 and then drop down to $33.69, well, then this is where I'll be looking next for 84.85. But sometimes 5 waves just becomes 5 waves, and I don't know. Let's see. We'll see what happens. So that's why this chart's got two. It's got an ABC corrective wave up, or it's also got these 5 waves up based on what it's done so far. Yeah, I like LUNR Intuitive Machines from where it is now. It did not make a. I mean, it's just an ABC retrace, and even its retrace, the C level did not go lower than the previous waves, wave 3 sub 1. So I like it. I like it a lot. Actually, what it did was just it backtested this wick right up here from February of 2024.
Very nice.
Yeah, there's one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have any requests
other
or anything?
couple of them that caught your eye recently?
Do I want to do QBTS? It never lost.
Your QBTS.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. This one never broke my my wave setup. This is your large degree wave 1, wave 2. And all it did was it started off and then fell back over, and so it got a longer wave 2, which should mean the wave 4 will be a lot shorter by the theory of elimination and Elliott wave theory. So yeah, it just got bid. It went a 382236. So my next target is 123.6 up here at 1572. So that is that's a lovely from our price closed 47 minutes ago. To the wave 3 top would be 183% higher. And it's not like an altcoin going up, but this is not bad for a stock. And if this tops out, it goes to 2572 to the 223.6% fib extension. Yeah, qubits, D-Wave Quantum Incorporated. Let's see, is this one actually a quantum company? I can't always remember.
Yeah, I think they are. This is one of the quantum companies.
Overview.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They develop quantum computing system software and services.
They are.
They want to deliver it by the cloud. So those yeah.
Very nice.
There's a quantum play. I like all the quantum plays. Oh, let's look at a terrible stock. Intel.
Oh man. Okay.
Intel is like the new Nike, but yeah, I'm hoping for, I'm just rooting for them for like an ABC retrace back up to, gosh, what am I even? Oh, here they are. Here, a 618% retrace back to this previous high rate. Oh, it's almost its all-time high. Wait, this is weird. Oh, it's an 8-hour chart. That's why. And I missed the after-hours action. So really, I just fixed this chart. It really should come up to like $39.08 if it does an ABC retrace. Mm-hmm. It's trying. See, look, the good thing is it did come up to the 236 right here. Let me just get rid of this part so you can see this a little better. Mm-hmm. It came with a 23.6, got rejected, got sent back down. Started over again. It got a little farther, but then got rejected, sent back down, but it's still at a higher low here. So it's going to try to go to 31.23. It'll come back and turn this into support at on up to 36.44. Or I'm sorry, now 39.08 because I just fixed my chart was missing some after hours action.
Yeah, I can see it being. I can see it being a good trade. Yeah.
A rebound.
Yeah. Like a rebound trade.
It's going to be a rebound trade, exactly.
Yeah.
And so if it does get to 31.23 from where It closed just a little while ago. That's like a 43% move up. Qubits is better.
Yeah. And Qubits also higher time frame directionally bullish too, whereas Intel is a little bit riskier because you want to try to trade to the retracement to the mean. It's tough. Like it's very tough. Anyway.
It started like a cyclical stock, right? 2001 high, 2009 low, 2021 high, 2025 low. I don't know. Oh, you know what else is a really crazy cyclical stock? Oh shoot! What was the one that makes the COVID vaccine? The
mRNA.
Moderna. Is it mRNA?
Yeah, mRNA.
No, not this one.
No. You're talking about
I'm
Pfizer.
thinking about different stock. Never mind.
Novavax.
I think NVAX is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Yeah, that's this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this one's really cyclical.
Yeah.
Just
that's ridiculous.
It goes up, down, up and down. Yeah, but look, it's down again, so it's worth putting some money into it because
I haven't bought some. Why not?
Performance isn't a guarantee, but yeah, it's look at these crazy swings. So if it just goes even half as high from where it is right now to where it has been in the past, that's a 3,293% to $128, and that's just the A wave. Yeah. So I've got some VAX as well. All right, that's there's your tracker's corner from some fun.
Is it time for a lightning round now, Kat?
There's not much requests. I think
there's that IBIO, there's DOGE, there's Buttcoin apparently.
I've got a request from somebody wanted a SOFI. Who wants to do SOFI? Not me. Not it.
I already did it.
He already did it.
Yeah, I think at the beginning when I was talking about like fintech, it didn't really.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You did do SOFI.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm gonna do some timestamps later, but I did like real quick. I literally did lightning round for fintechs. So, sorry, you said.
What's hilarious is I was trading IBIO. Let's go to the daily chart. Back in 2020, 2020 I was trading IBIO, and I just kind of gave up on it, and then it did this like in March of 2020, like it took off after I gave up on it, and now I guess people are asking about it because in after hours. Wait, do I have the right stock? Oh yeah. Here we go. Yeah. This because here in after hours, it's starting to. So people are getting excited, right? Because it went high. Matt will tell you this is the wrong time to get excited about it. You should have been excited when it was like really low, and now it's already taken off. So maybe kind of wait and see. Wait for it to cool off. Maybe when it comes back down to like half what it is now, you could think about buying it, or whatever this moving average 75 catches up to it. On an 8-hour chart, I think. Give it some time to at least touch maybe this Ichimoku conversion line or baseline, but I'll bet it drops through both of these. Anyway, there's IBIO. Don't buy it. Yeah, you can short it maybe. I used to short spikes like these, unless they've got some kind of crazy news. But I haven't seen any news about IBIO. I'm not up on them.
You don't bio? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, IBIO.
IBIO.
But yeah, there's RIOT, there's DOGE, there's CLSK.
Let's do it.
Come on, Kat. You can just knock those out.
All right, throw it at me. That's fine. Yeah. This is kind of what I see with IBIO. I'm a little bit hesitant to want to even get into it because it's just hitting the monthly upper Bollinger Band here and it's getting kind of rejected here. So I don't really like this setup. It did reclaim the 20-month moving average, which is a positive sign. But it's so that over here, I just don't really trust that. It's in the short term, it can make a little bit of a higher high here, which is great, but I just don't see enough for me to really get convinced that this could be another one of these moves like it did over here, right? So I'm just going to be a little bit more skeptical in a higher time frame because that's generally what I look at the most. If you're looking at Dogecoin, I'm going to do a very, very simple analysis because nothing else really matters. Because if you just don't look at anything, if you just even don't look at Bollinger Band here, what do you got here? Higher highs and higher lows, right? I mean, it's just a bull trend. You got a parabolic move up, and it's basically just kind of correcting sideways. And you know, so far for the month start here, there's really, like, you can talk about different levels. Like, why do you have a hard time with both those breaking others? Because if you look at the monthly Ichimoku cloud, and a hard time breaking about the monthly Ichimoku cloud. So far for the month of March, we try to break back inside. So far we're getting rejected, but I'm not really that scared about it because global liquidity simply just really still haven't taken off per se, right? If you look at Bollinger Band, you already have Bollinger Band expansion kind of all the way down. It's curling up a little bit because price is going sideways here a little bit, but I think it's going to be okay because you have a rising 20-month over here. Does this mean the price has to go down to 15 or 16? I don't think so. I think this is a horizontal zone over here that is trying to find support at. After its breakout, it's just simply doing a little bit of back test, right? I'm not going to put up too many indicators because it's not like it's high highs, high lows. I'm going to keep buying as long as price is like underneath 20 cents. I still think it's a pretty decent opportunity, so I'm going to keep buying into the clean spark. If you just look at, it's very, very clean actually. A little bit of a trend line over here from the top. They didn't really become minor until like December 2020, really. And then since then, the minor behavior is that it had a breakout over here on freaking huge volume, and it had a back test over here twice. That's exactly what clean spark is doing. If you can look at like all the other averages and things like that, none of that really matter at this point, because the truth is this: it is breaking. When it was breaking up a lot higher, it was breaking up above a lot of people's imagination. And when it's having a corrective wave, which I think is wave 2, by the way, I think this is 1, I think this is 2, by the way. When you're having a breakdown of 2, it just goes down a lot lower than what a lot of people think. What you have right now, you have a trees at the bottom over here. So I think it's a pretty decent opportunity to kind of get into, especially when we are anticipating potentially increase in global liquidity. But yeah, if you end up like chasing, so these are the spots I bought. I bought down here around like $7 or $8. I bought at the bottom of this range over here around like 14 or 15. I bought down here around 9s, and I bought more down here around like the 7 and 8s. So my cost average, I think, is like around like 11 right now. So I'm definitely like 40, like 35 or 40% underwater, but I don't care. Like, this is one of those things that I feel pretty strongly about the crypto market. I feel pretty strongly about the liquidity coming in. So I'm still going to keep holding. If I have some funds I can allocate a little bit more, I will, but I'm not bearish based on looking at this. I don't really see this being necessarily like an invalidation or anything like that. But other people might feel differently. In terms of RIOT, I think it's just trying to break about the 0.382, break up the ARK up here, unable to do that. But if you don't use any of these kinds of label over here, all it's really doing is just been going sideways. And this is one of those stocks that's just like extremely brutalized. I don't know what else to say. There's a demand zone over here because of some pretty decent wick down here, because this whole giant downtrend over here got bought up pretty much in a hurry. And we're basically just kind of backtesting a very important horizontal zone over here. Like, you just don't even need to draw a line, you can see that. This is a very important horizontal zone. We're just basically backtesting it, going sideways over here for like 2 years. A lot of energy is being built up. I actually don't feel that bearish on RIOT. I think it might be one of those like late cycle boomer. I think it's going to do pretty well, but I don't think really need any additional indicators to really look at that. You want to look at Buttcoin. It hasn't been around for that long. I think I only can do like maybe a daily kind of thing. But you want to look at, you look at Buttcoin, which is the next Bitcoin. That's what they label it as. You look at it daily. It's not bearish. It broke above the 20-day, and it's just kind of hanging around the upper Bollinger Band. Looks like it wants to go higher.
So you buying some? You buying some?
If I mistype, I might. I mean, I don't know.
Whoops! Not again. That's the seventh buy this week.
And then this chart, like, somebody has been asking me to chart this a lot more often than usual. Big Bear AI, which looks bullish, which is ironic, right? You have basically a Bollinger Band expansion, 20-month moving average curling up. At any point of time, it could potentially come back and backtest to 20. It can come back and backtest a lot of things, but this is a bullish chart. The only thing I'm doing a little bit get concerned about is two things. One is you have a tank indication right here, or conversion baseline here as resistance, and that could be potentially resistance. You're also trying to push a little bit way too far, way too fast, and it's like way outside the upper Bollinger Band right now. The only other thing that I'm kind of concerned about is, it's breaking about the 0.618, which is good. But I think at a certain point, I just worry that it might have to kind of get stuck here for a little bit, wait for Bollinger Band to expand. Which I think it will. I think it would challenge the 0.786 here again, but it probably would take a little bit of time for it to kind of get up there. Is there any other charts? I think that's it, right?
I just want to say I'm pretty. You know what Big Bear AI does?
What did they do?
They do naval drones, which is actually something that we're really going to need a lot more of going forward. Because we can only, they've got all these huge aircraft carrier ships and cruisers and whatnot, but they're made for a different age, and now they're having trouble, fighting off all these drone attacks, and so they've got naval drones to help both police the oceans and shipping lanes, and also ultimately thwart other drone attacks.
Yeah,
I'm bearish on. I'm bullish on. I'm bullish on Big Bear AI as well. The ironically named.
I'm bearish on Big Bull Bear Eye.
Yeah, exactly.
When you said naval, I thought like belly button. I don't know why.
Naval.
I know.
Well, Jessica has a bunch. She has the Planet Labs. She's got MNMD, KULR.
Jeez, what is going on?
You got a lot, dude. Come on.
What is going on with this? Mine. Let's see. Okay, I do think that my technology. If you look at a monthly here, something's happening. I generally don't like, like higher time frame is just keeps on making lower lows, like lower highs and lower lows. I'm a little bit cautious about that because even if it breaks above the 20-month moving average,
I think it's Mind Medicine, isn't it? MNMD.
Oh, yeah. What is it? MNMD. Sorry.
Yeah, I think she mistyped. Yeah.
Got it. So it doesn't look bearish at all because it's back testing the 20 after it's having a hard time breaking above the upper Bollinger Band. If you're looking at the FIP levels here, this is lock, right? You can see how it's just been trying to break out the 0.382, just having a hard time breaking it out. It's stuck in a range right here. It's still up sloping, so I think at the bottom of the range, we'll see how it goes. If it breaks down, sayonara, horrible Japanese, sorry. If it bounces over here, which I think it probably will end up bouncing, then you would have to challenge the 0.382 in the upper Bollinger Band. Those are going to be levels to hold. I do think that we're at support, so I think it's a little bit leaning more towards being bullish, but you also have the Tenkan and Kijun resistance up here above. So we're stuck in a range. That's all I have for that.
Man, who was running that company? Look at just all over the place.
Yeah, it's just absolutely.
Those two wicks in 2018,
Michael
down in
Saylor?
July, and then 2020. It's like
I don't know what to make of it either.
It's like Stark Enterprises announced that they're not going to make weapons anymore.
Yeah. And you have the KULR, which is a commonly requested stock. It basically like went to the previous high over here, right? And then like basically got rejected because it was way outside the upper Bollinger Band. It's trying to come back down, failed to hold the 0.786. I think there's a good chance it goes to 0.618, which is like closer to $1. That's what it looks like it might be going. If you look at Ichimoku, sometimes you see something a little bit different. Broke underneath the cloud over here. I don't really see any like monthly support. On the 2-week, you are holding the 2-week Ichimoku cloud here, so maybe they end up finding support there. But on the weekly, I'm not really seeing too much here. Let me go back to the weekly here. Sometimes you end up seeing some support band. Yeah, it broke underneath of that. It's probably going to go to 0.618. It's kind of what I'm thinking. The 2-week cloud may not hold. But that's kind of I'm definitely not a good spot to buy up here, that's for sure, because you just don't buy things when they're outside the upper Bollinger Band on the monthly. You just don't do it, But as it get closer and closer, retracing back to the mean, I think these are a couple of levels. Like currently, you have the 2-week Ichimoku cloud that could be a good level. 0.618 would be a good level around $1. And if it decides to go down further on declining volume, because they always go down a lot further on declining volume, you never know, then maybe like 70 cents or something like that would be like, I don't see it necessarily going that much down further than that. So those are going to be like the levels to potentially scale in if you're interested in something like this. Is there anything else?
Oh, you nailed it. So I think that'll do it.
Let's do it. Let's close the show. Yeah. Let's do it. It's a show. This is it. Welcome back, Tracker. It's good to have you back.
Yeah,
it's good to be back.
Yeah, it's not the same without you. Yeah.
Well, you guys do a fun show too, though. I listened to your show; it was great.
Yeah, we're okay. I mean, it's like it's like missionary. It's not any. Anyway.
It's kind of like you guys are the White Stripes, and I come in with my keyboard. You guys have like you got the rhythm, and you got the awesome guitar riffs, and then I come in and I just bring a little bit of color. My keyboard.
Yes, you do. Well, you want to do the show tomorrow in the morning, Tracker? Yeah.
We'll do the morning.
All right, let's do it. So then we'll see you guys in the AM 8:30 Eastern.
Yep,
All
7:30
right, sounds
Central.
great. Yeah. Now I'm gonna do timestamps now. Thank you very much, guys.
Woo.
Oh, thank you, Kat. You're amazing for doing those.
Get her done.
Yeah, get her done. I mean, I still don't know what that means, but get her done.
Yeah,
Yep.
get her done.
Yeah. All right, guys. Take care.
Take care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
and don't forget to watch the joint session of Congress, which is starting right now.
Woo, that's excitement.
Exciting. Yeah. Is
Yeah, I
it
know,
on
right?
C-SPAN?
C-SPAN 2, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Take
Good
care,
night,
guys.
everybody.